para-jumble question here. These are your 5 options. NMAT gives you 5 answer choices, 5 options. These are your 4 sentences. I want you to arrange them and tell me the answer. Start. Idioms, they have not been written in the syllabus, the topic coverage part of your NMAT official website. Idioms and phrases have not been written. But see, just to give you an idea, when I say sentence completion, in this, can I not ask idioms as fill in the blanks? I can, right? So while it has not been written explicitly, idioms and phrases can appear, right? Okay. So let's see this para-jumble question. Let's see who answers the fastest. Okay, I've got one response already. Good, good. So on an average, you have 45 seconds for a question. I was timing you. What do the others say? Just one student has responded. Come on. Okay. Disha says E. All right. Nihar says C. Let's see what the others say. 3 responses I've got so far. I want 16 more responses. Vaishnavi D. All right. So very diverse responses. I want a consensus. One option that is given by most of the students. That's what I want. Tanishq says E. So 2 D's, 2 E's so far. There's a tie. Somebody please break this tie. All right. Okay. 4 E's, 3 D's, 2 C's. Confused between D and E. Oh, okay, I understand. So, see, that means most of us have realized this, that 4 is the opening sentence. But see, the examiner is also pretty cunning. She probably realized this, that you will find out this very quickly, that because this is a few historians and other sentences have them, these same historians, they. So you will also realize that 4 is the opening sentence, right? Because of the noun, pronoun, relationship. And when I say these same historians, I need to have mentioned them first. So that is why 4 is the opening sentence and not 2. Okay. Now, what is the problem here? See this. So, it's not that I can solve the entire question just by looking at the initial few words. While they do help me, but I can't solve the entire question through that. So, in recent years, however, a few historians of science have been finding it more and more difficult to fulfill the functions that the concept of development by accumulation assigns to them. So we are talking about a difficulty that scientists are facing. What is the difficulty? That basically they're not able to fulfill the functions that the concept of development by accumulation assigns to them. That all development happens by the incremental efforts of different people. That is what development by accumulation would probably mean. Okay. Now this is simultaneously they confront growing difficulties. So this perhaps, when I say simultaneously, that means at the same time, there are some other difficulties also that are being faced, right? This is what I gather from it. So I'll read 1 and 3 and I'll see first, are they related to 4? If yes, then they will come first and 2 will come later on. So let's see. As chroniclers of an incremental process that a new scientist built on the work of previous scientists. As chroniclers, somebody who's recording an incremental process, they discover that additional research makes it harder and not easier to answer questions like when was oxygen discovered, who first conceived of energy conservation. So, isn't one giving me examples of the concept of development by accumulation? Development by accumulation says this, that okay, first somebody discovered something, then developments happened. So the progress in a particular field has been incremental. So 4 and then 1 serves as an example. Let's see if 3 fits between them. Is the answer B or is the answer E? Right? 3 says, increasingly, a few of them suspect that these are simply the wrong sorts of questions to ask. These are simply wrong sorts of questions. So 1 has to come before 3. 1, 3 is a pair. The moment you realize this, your question has been solved for you. E is the answer here. 4, 1, 3, 2. Right? So I have just highlighted various types of clues that were present in these questions. So for instance, in these sentences, for instance, a few historians of science, a few of them, these same historians, they, these are all grammar based clues. These are all grammar based clues. Right? Similarly, these are simply the wrong sorts of questions to ask. Which questions? These. Again, a grammar based clue. That's why in green. Okay. Then what about these yellow? Incremental process, development by accumulation. Isn't this a theme based clue? You need to understand the meaning of development by accumulation, incremental process, right? More and more difficult, harder, not easier. They also relate in terms of their tone, in terms of the subject matter that they're discussing. So these are theme based clues. And lastly, these are structure based in a way. For instance, questions like, so this is an example of what was the problem that was just mentioned. So this is a structure, right? Definition example or problem statement and example. So structure based clues are there in blue. Right? Simultaneously, again, I am saying that, okay, this problem is being faced. Now I introduce another problem into the mix. So simultaneously, another problem is also there. And this is sort of a deduction that they have made out of all these problems. This is the conclusion that they have made out of all these problems. So what have they realized? That probably from this problem 4 and 1, they have realized that perhaps science does not develop by accumulation. Because उनको इतनी difficulty हो रही है accumulation से explain करने में, उन्होंने conclude करा, perhaps science does not develop by accumulation. Right? So I hope this makes sense to you. I wanted to show this to you very comprehensively. This is also something that we did yesterday in our 3 p.m. session. So you can watch for more examples, for more questions. Right? Okay. Now, what is the ideal score for getting admission in NM Mumbai? For language skills, the cutoff last year was 71. For an overall cutoff, I think it was 232, if I'm not wrong. I'll just confirm this once. 232, that's what I remember. I'll confirm this once. Meanwhile, you solve this question. Error spotting question. Let's see what you say. This is a very short question. This should save your time. Okay. What? Confused between A and E. Okay. I've got A, B, C and also E also. Okay. Yes. For NM Mumbai, I'm right. It was 232. And the percentile was 98 to 99 at this 232. Okay. So A, B, C. Okay. All right, all right. Is any consensus emerging in the chat box? A, okay. And what? Similar number of B's and C's. A lot of C's now. All right, all right. Now, yes, for colleges you have separate forms, no? Ridhima. The college form is separate. Okay, so you can again find that on the NMAT's website only. When you register for NMAT now, I think they show you, there is some tab that shows you that for this college, you will have to fill this form. That is there, if I'm not wrong. Just check it once because I don't apply to separate colleges. So that's why I don't have complete info on this. Right? Now, C is the answer, absolutely correct. So what made you think of C? Tell me. Because of with? Is it because of with? Is it talk to someone or talk with someone? Yes. Talk to someone or talk with someone? I've always wondered this. Tell me. I was talking with her. Is it correct or is it wrong? People just say it just like that. Both are correct. Okay. This is a common misconception that just talk to is correct and talk with is incorrect. In fact, talk with, a lot of people feel that it is more inclusive. When you say talk with, it gives the impression that the other person was also participating equally. That's the belief of a number of people, right? So both are accepted in the English language, and talk to, talk with, the prepositions are not a concern here. It should be whoever. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Priyanka, Divya, Disha, absolutely correct. Okay. So, this is essentially a concept of who versus whom. Who versus whom. I pay a lot of stress on this concept because when we talk to each other in informal English, we don't really care whether to use who or whom. However, our exams care, right? So, how do I gauge this? Just look at it like a question. This part that begins from whomever, this part, just look at it as if it were a question. Dash is willing to listen. What will your answer be? He is willing to listen or him is willing to listen? If this were a question, your answer will be, yeah, he is willing to listen. Isn't it? It will not be him is willing to listen. I need a subject here. So for if it is he, then we should use who. If it is him, then we should use whom. Okay, MM. Him, whom, he, who. Right? So, remember this. This is a very easy way to find out whether we should use who somewhere or whom somewhere. So here I had to use who. Good, good, good. So I hope you've understood this, with whoever is willing to listen and not whomever. Any query, ask me. This concept is important. All right. Okay, one more question for you. Let me see what you say here. Dash, are you kidding? Dash, are you messing with? Dash, are you kidding? Yes. What do you say? Varun says whom. Okay. Instead of kidding, you can also think of messing with. The who versus whom. These are your choices. Who or whom. Okay. Okay. I've got 3 whoms, 4 whoms. Very good. Very good. So, absolutely correct. It should be whom are you kidding? Why? Why? Whom are you messing with? Why? Because if you answer this, you are messing with, you are messing with he or him, or you are kidding Again, he or him? Yes. You would say you are messing with him. You are kidding with him. Okay. So, or you are kidding him. Sorry, not kidding with him. You are kidding him. So, because of this him, I should use whom here. Whom are you kidding? In our conversation, we say who are you kidding, right? Or we say who am I talking to? Even this is incorrect. When we say who am I talking to? When we pick up the call and we say who am I talking to? We don't really care whether to use who or whom. But grammar, in your exams, it cares, right? So if the answer will be I am talking to him. I am talking to him, isn't it? So this should be whom am I talking to? Whom, right? Hope this is clear now and we can proceed to our next question on prepositions. Yes. So this is a fill in the blank. Tell me which preposition is correct here. These are the kinds of questions that you get in fill in the blanks based on prepositions. Okay. All right. Others? So I want enthusiastic responses on this. Come on. This is so easy. Isn't it? Okay. Okay. Good. Good. So far I've got a unanimous C. All right. All right. Can't it be from? He was tired from. Yes. Does it have to be of? So prepositions, that is the reason why they are so popular. The reason why you need to work hard for them is that prepositions a lot of times, they are a product of convention, custom. That means so a certain set of people started using prepositions in a certain way and then that became the norm, right? So after tired, we use of. It is fixed. After tired, we use of. Tired of something, right? Just like we say we have to abide by the rules. After abide, we use by. We have to adhere to the rules. After adhere, we don't say by, right? So we have to adhere to the rules. We have to abide by the rules. He was tired of something, and that's why C is the only correct answer here. All right, and that's why you need to work hard to learn prepositions because a lot of times their usage is fixed after a particular verb, after a particular word. Right? Okay. Now this was FIB on prepositions. Let's look at a fill in the blank based on vocabulary. 2 blanks here. You can get 2 blanks, 3 blanks in your exam as well. 2 to 3 blanks you can get. Let's see. Yes. What do you say? A. All right. So Varun has answered the fastest, followed by Gaurav. They both say A. Do we second them? Okay. Divya also says A. Others. Ekta A. All right. Shubhi A. Anmol also says A. All right. All right. Perfect. A is the answer here. Not just the absence of retribution. What is retribution? Yes. Associated with something. Retribution. Punishment. Okay. Retribution is punishment. When you do something bad and then you are made to face the consequences for it, that is retribution. Okay, so not just the absence of punishment, but also the presence of camaraderie. Camaraderie, comrade. From the word comrade comes camaraderie, right? It means friendship and this feeling of goodwill towards others, right? Comrade is your friend, so camaraderie is friendship. But also the presence of camaraderie and honesty is required to bind up the nation's wounds. Okay, so we need to have an absence of punishment and a presence of friendship. Right. So you can form your own associations for it. For instance, if let's say you've seen a movie where the protagonist is punished severely for something, so that is retribution, right? Camaraderie, a movie about friends, for instance, a lot of friends. So for my people my age, Dil Chahta Hai is one such movie, right? Which I associate with camaraderie. Then the show Friends is something that I associate with camaraderie. So similarly, you can have your own associations. That is what makes learning vocabulary interesting. Because if you just keep rote memorizing every single day, 15-20 words without associating them with stuff, after a while you'll forget them. So you have to associate them with, let's say, some movies, some sitcoms that you watch, people in your life, some emotion, some event, etc. Okay, that makes the process a lot more interesting. These are common words, we know their meanings. What about austerity? What does austerity mean? Only camaraderie goes with honesty. Absolutely correct. Yes. What is austerity? Austerity measures were announced by the government. Yes. What kind of measures would they be? Hmm. Austerity. He lived an austere lifestyle. So austerity is the noun, austere is the adjective here. So austere lifestyle. Would it be a very lavish lifestyle if he lived an austere lifestyle? Yes. So basically, austere means a very frugal lifestyle, a very simple lifestyle. Okay, wherein this person is a person of few needs, a man of few needs, as we say. So austerity is a noun form of this, wherein a person lives a life of frugality. That is austerity, right? Also, austere is not a very chilled out word, so to say, right? If I call someone austere, no, if I call a person austere, it can have two meanings. One is that this person has a very frugal lifestyle. The other can also be this person is very stern, easygoing nahi hai, stern hai person. So that is also the meaning of austere. So austerity can mean the sternness, severity also, right? Absolutely correct. Spartans. I'm so glad you mentioned the Spartans. The Spartans are associated with austerity. They lived a very simple, frugal, basic life. Okay. So, in fact, in the English language, Spartan is used as an adjective also. Spartan is used as an adjective also to mean frugal, austere, etc. Okay. So you might think that Spartan should be used to mean a warrior, but actually it is used to mean frugal, austere because they lived a very difficult life and frugal life. Right? Good. Okay. Okay. Coming to yes, our next question. This is an analogy question. So we have these two words. I mean, this word pair here. Find out another word pair that is similar. That is the most similar to the given word pair. Most similar to the given word pair. So here I forgot to write the instructions, but in your exam, do read the instructions carefully. And most of the times, this is going to be the instruction that find out the word pair that is the most similar. Just once in IIFT, I saw a question direction that said find out the one that is the most dissimilar. So that just happened once. Otherwise, mostly this is the instruction. Yes. Tell me, what should be the answer for this? Let's see, let's see. Who answers the fastest this time? Shubhi says B. Varun C. Okay. Apocryphal. We need to know the meaning of this word in order to understand how it relates to genuine. Yes? Okay, Disha says A. Daisy also says A. Gaurav says A. Okay. Others? So I've got 3 A's back to back. Janvi says C. Alright. Aditya also C. So 3 C's, 3 A's. Anybody who wants to break that tie? Okay, 4 C's now. Alright. So let's discuss the meaning of apocryphal. Actually, the word comes from apocrypha. If you like studying the stories behind words, the etymology behind words, some of them have very interesting etymologies. For instance, Spartan, the word Spartan comes from this region Sparta, right? Apocryphal comes from apocrypha. It is believed, see, the Bible has a set of rules which is called the Testament, right? So there was something called the Old Testament, and there is also something called the New Testament. Now, it consists of various rules regarding living, behaving, etc. Right? Now, when the New Testament was written, not all the rules from the Old Testament made to the New Testament. Why? Because some of these rules were believed to be of doubtful authenticity. They were believed to be of doubtful authenticity. So those rules that did not make from the Old Testament to the New Testament, collectively they are called the Apocrypha. They are called the Apocrypha. Okay. And why did they not make it? Because they were of doubtful authenticity. So something that is apocryphal in nature is inauthentic or of doubtful authenticity. It is dubious. If I have to put it in one word, dubious. Right? So genuine on the other hand is something that is authentic. So the relationship here is antonymous. But let's say in the exam, I do not know the meaning of apocryphal and I could not really understand that this is an antonymous relationship, right? So if you see here, in case you know this also, nefarious is to evil. Nefarious means wicked, wicked or evil. Somebody who is hypocritical is insincere. An iconoclast, a person who actually is a dissident of sorts. Okay, somebody who attacks the cherished beliefs, religious beliefs of a time particularly. That person is called iconoclast. Such a person would be rebellious. So if you see, this has a similar synonymous relationship, this has a similar relationship, and this also has it. So probably then this is not a synonym pair. This much is clear. Most likely it is an antonym pair. So you can make guesses like this in the exam in case you do not know the exact nature of relationship between the two words. Because ultimately we have to mark something, right? So in case you are able to eliminate based on such grouping, nothing like it. So B, C and D are eliminated between, yes, nefarious is wicked, evil, immoral, etc. Now sanguine is to cynical. This is the answer. Good. Those who said it. Why? Because sanguine means, yes, sanguine. A very interesting story again sanguine has. Sanguine means optimistic. Okay. And cynical, extremely pessimistic. A cynical person is somebody who does not trust anyone, is doubtful of other people's motives, thinks that everybody is out to attack him. Extremely pessimistic. Okay. So, sanguine to cynical is an antonym pair. This is the answer. Now, this you must be wondering, what is the relationship between Catholics and liberals? Okay, some people in fact associate being Catholic with conservatism, but actually the word Catholic does not just mean a person who practices Catholicism. Okay, a Christian who practices Catholicism. No, Catholic has another meaning. Somebody who is welcoming of various worldviews, various viewpoints. That person is also called Catholic in nature, right? So, Catholic means liberal. Again, this is a synonym pair. Okay, so you learned a new thing that Catholic actually means liberal also. Somebody who is welcoming of multiple perspectives, multiple viewpoints, right? Perfect. So A is our answer. Good, Gaurav. And yes, it is related to blood, sanguine. Yes, people who welcome, Catholic, a synonym is eclectic also. A synonym of Catholic is eclectic. We tell you, no, that you have to become eclectic readers. You have to read from a wide variety of sources. So one synonym of Catholic is eclectic. Okay. And yes, sanguine comes from blood. Any ideas? If not, then this is your homework. You have to find out that what is the etymology of sanguine. I have discussed it in some of my previous sessions with NMAT, CMAT students. I have discussed this already. So find out what is its etymology and how is something that means optimistic related to blood. How did it come to be related to blood? Okay. And the afterword is C for NMAT. Along with planning your preparation, please keep a sight of this that you will have to take at least 5 to 6 mocks. Okay. So populate your calendar in such a way that you have time for these mocks and you space these mocks well depending on when you are taking the exam. At least 5 to 6 because the exam is adaptive. You have to get used to an adaptive exam. Also, if you want a detailed month-wise plan, right, then I took another session on this. You can watch this session. This is the link. So the name of the session was NMAT month-wise strategy. If you type that, you will find this session on YouTube. Okay, on our channel itself. I took it 2 weeks ago, so you can even scroll down the videos and you'll find it. We always have to find the synonyms of phrases. Varun, I think what you are trying to say is that in analogy, we try to search for similar relationships. Yes, mostly we look for a similar relationship that exists between my question pair. Mostly we look for a similar relationship. Yes. Okay. All right. For English grammar, in case you want to study English grammar in relative depth, you want to learn the concepts, then I'll recommend Renan Martin. Okay. Even Raymond Murphy is good. I personally am a little biased towards Renan Martin. That's why I'm recommending this. Right? Okay. All right, then. This is it from my side for today. I hope you enjoyed the session. If yes, please do press the like button and do subscribe to